Well, China hawks are slamming Tim Walz's long history of ties to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. Joining me now is Peter Schweizer, president of the Government Accountability Institute. Peter, I was just talking, I got Steve Forbes is here. We were talking about what a national treasure you are. You really are a national treasure. You do digging that nobody else does, and we can all use it. It's good, solid information. This that we're talking about with Walz, it's different from the stuff you dug up about the Biden family. That was primarily for money. This looks like he's just a true believer. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, or a fellow traveler, at least. No, I think you're right. I mean, there are a couple of things that stand out here, David. There's nothing inherently wrong with having an exchange program with China. The problem is, A, he tries to essentially conceal the involvement of the CCP in this exchange program that he had. He originally said and reported to the media that this was something sponsored by Harvard University. Harvard has said that is not the case. It was two Harvard graduates that helped him. And what he was really doing was masking the fact that these trips were actually financed by the Chinese Communist Party. And in the 1990s, he bragged about the fact that they were subsidizing these trips. The second thing that stands out about this relationship is he was telling the American students curious things. He was telling them, for example, to downplay their Americanness when they went to China, which, of course, the purpose of a cultural exchange is to learn from each other. The second thing is that he gave this ridiculous analysis of the Chinese communist dictatorial system. He said there's no poverty in China, he told the students, because they share. Unlike in the United States, they have a system of sharing. So that's really the beginning of it. And these ties have extended to when he's been governor of Minnesota.
You know, it's a wonderful system if you don't mind getting rid of your freedom and everybody being equally poor. I mean, that's essentially what you have. You have no freedom, everybody's equally poor. Of course, it's the same in Cuba. There was a little more market mechanism at work in China when Deng Xiaoping came in after Mao, and they had a good run for about 10 years. But when this guy Xi came in, boy, it was back to the Mao talk. I just want to put up a diagram that we put together. I think Kamala Harris could make a Venn diagram of this, by the way. This is where it is similar to the Bidens, just to show how this mechanism of obfuscation works. Walz was working with the Chinese American Association of Minnesota up on the left of the screen, the top left. Then that went over to the Overseas Chinese Service Center. Then they were hearing from the United Front Work Department in China, and the real master of the house was that Overseas Chinese Affairs Office. Have we got that? I know it's not a Venn diagram. Apologies to Kamala Harris, but is that about right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, look, any exchange programs that exist with China are run by the CCP and by the United Front groups, and they're designed to expand the power of the CCP. And the problem with Walz is this isn't just ancient history. When he was the governor of Minnesota, he actually gave a speech to a United Front group in Minnesota. He was curiously the only government official there. There was nobody else in the state of Minnesota in any official capacity that was there. He gave a keynote speech. And what he does is he will bring up human rights in China, but he always does it in the context of, well, we have the same kind of problems here in the United States. Oh, yeah. In fact, he met with Premier Li, the #2 man in China, in 2016. He raised the issue of human rights, but he's told the premier of China, but don't look to us as being a model because we have lots of problems too.
That's exactly garbage. What China wants. You know, that's the same garbage we heard during the Soviet Union from them and from the fellow travelers that, like Bernie Sanders, who went over to the Soviet Union. No, you've got problems, but we do too. It's basically the same. It all evens out. Very quickly, what is the CCP's front office, the folks in Beijing? What do you think they're interested in from a guy like Walz?
Oh, they're interested in elite capture. And the goal here is to have somebody that's going to provide, in their terms, big help with a little bad mouth. They understand that he's going to have to criticize them from time to time. But really what they want, David, is they want access to our technology, access to our capital markets, access to our market in general to sell goods. And if you advocate positions in those areas and you criticize them from time to time, they are extremely happy. And that is exactly what they have gotten from Tim William Walz. He was very critical of Donald Trump when Donald Trump was trying to use tariffs, not just for economic purposes, but for political purposes. Right. And I think if Kamala Harris is elected president, he will become the point person on U.S. policy towards China. And that is an enormous problem in my mind.
Extraordinary. Peter Schweizer, again, thank you for the work you do. We all appreciate it. You're a great man.